Let us discuss about the determination of surface tension of liquid by capillary raise method. The experimental arrangement is like this. For this experiment, before going to discuss this experiment, let us deduce an expression for the determination of surface tension of liquid by capillary raise method. Now, first of all, let us take this is the capillary tube. This is nothing but a capillary tube. This capillary tube is dipped vertically in a liquid. That is, here we are considering water. The radius of this capillary tube is small r. When the liquid is considered, the liquid rises into the capillary tube. Here you find that level, very fine level. And here, why this level rises into the capillary tube? We have already discussed in the case of liquids of angle of contact is less than 90 degrees. Such liquids can rise. Here the angle of contact of pure water is 0 degrees. That's why water rises into the capillary tube. Now here, how much height this liquid rises? When liquid rises to a certain height, say that is h, at that level, the weight of the water column rises into the capillary tube is equal to the surface tensional force acting in the upward direction. Now, in this case, let us discuss these things which are essential for the derivation. H, what is H? H is height of the liquid column. Now, theta, you may see that theta in the diagram. Theta is the angle of contact, d is the density of liquid, and r is the radius of this capillary tube, and T is the surface tension of this liquid. Now, we are going to determine the forces in equilibrium position independently like this. A, the weight acting vertically downwards, weight of water always acting vertically downwards, and this is equal to mg. What is m in this case? Or it may be equal to w. The w is equal to mg. Let us take it later. And the second thing is the total vertical component of surface tensional force, the total vertical component of surface tensional force in the upward direction. In equilibrium state, weight of the liquid column acting vertically downwards, that is equal to W, should be equal to the surface tensional force acting in the column in the upward direction. Say, let us take this as equation number 1. The next part of our derivation is the calculation of weight of the liquid acting vertically downwards. Now, in this diagram, the lifted liquid can be assumed to consist of two parts. Number a cylindrical liquid column between the horizontal planes through C and L. And the B part is liquid in the meniscus above the horizontal plane through C. The water column C and L is in the form of a cylinder of height h and radius r. You may observe this case in this actual experiment. Now, volume of cylindrical liquid column is taken as pi r square h. Why it is pi r square h? The liquid is in the form of a cylinder. The volume of the cylinder is pi r square h, where r is equal to radius of the cylinder, radius of the cross section of the cylinder, h is equal to height. And the next one is If the capillary tube has extremely fine bore, then the concave meniscus ACB may be treated as a hemisphere of radius smaller. I have shown it in the diagram. Now, I am going to derive the value of volume of the liquid in the meniscus. Now, let us treat that volume of small cylinder of height h, that h is equal to r, that is nothing but the radius. What is r here? Where r is equal to volume of the hemisphere ACB. Why it is considered as a small cylinder? Because it is a small cylinder just acting above the larger cylinder. I have shown you in the diagram. Now, in this case, the volume of the sphere, we know that volume of the sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube. If you consider the whole volume, that whole small volume is equal to pi r square h, where h is also equal to r, and in this case pi r square into h, where h is equal to r, therefore that is pi r square into r. But in the hemisphere consists of no water, and that is equal to half the volume of the hemisphere. Half the volume of the hemisphere is, that is 1 by 2 into 4 by 3 pi r cube. So let us subtract that factor in the previous factor. Then you may obtain that as 1/3 pi r cube. Now the total volume of the liquid, or here water, lifted is volume of cylindrical liquid between C and L, that is pi r square h, plus volume of the liquid in the meniscus, that may be taken as, the total volume is taken as the volume of the liquid in the larger cylinder and the volume of the liquid in the smaller cylinder minus volume of the liquid absent in the hemispherical sphere. Now this may be equal to like this, pi r square h plus 1 by 3 pi r cube, and pi r square may be taken out, then it becomes like this, that is r square into h plus r by 3. What is h? H is height, r is radius. Now mass of the liquid is taken like this. We know the equation for mass. Mass is equal to density into volume. Here the density is taken as d and the volume is v, where that volume was already calculated just from the previous derivation as like this, that is pi r square into h plus r by 3. Now W is equal to weight of the liquid column acting downwards, that is equal to mg, and hence the weight is equal to mg, and that is equal to pi r square of h plus r by 3 into dg. Let us take it as equation number 2. Calculation of surface tensional force acting in the upward direction. Now the surface tensional force T acts at an angle theta to the direction of this vertical direction of this capillary tube. At each point along the circle of contact, the reaction per unit length of line of contact be capital R. Actually, it is equal to the surface tension T. Now we are going to resolve that surface tension T into its two rectangular components. Now one component A, that is acting horizontal component because it is acting in horizontal direction, and the another component is vertical. This horizontal component is T sin theta and the vertical component is T cos theta. Let us repeat this component factors. Surface tension T is resolved into two components. One is horizontal component and the other is vertical component. This horizontal component is T sin theta, which is equal and opposite, and the vertical component is T cos theta. And next, the horizontal components at the ends of every diameter of the circle of contact are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction, hence they simply cancel, and therefore in our derivation we need not consider about these horizontal components. Now let us consider only the vertical components which are responsible for this derivation. Now, total upward force is equal to sum of the forces due to two vertical components, that is F is equal to 2 pi RT cos theta. Now, in this case, let us substitute that equation 2 and 3 in 1. You may get that relation like this, that is pi r square of h plus r by 3 into dg is equal to 2 pi RT cos theta. And the next one is derivation of or deduction of surface tensions from the relation, that is T is equal to R into H plus R by 3 into dg by 2 cos theta. Here the radius of the capillary tube is very small, and in the factor R by 3 it may be very small, and here it may be neglected. So R by 3 tends to 0 as shown here. Now the remaining factor of that equation T is equal to half R H dg by cos theta. For water here, that theta is equal to 0. Then the above equation is transferred like this, that is T is equal to half R H dg. Now, let us see the effect of temperature, another important factor which affects the surface tension. The surface tension of liquid decreases with the rise of temperature, but it is not true in all the cases except in the case of molten cadmium and copper. Now, let us take that equation. This equation is valid only for small changes of temperature. T is equal to T0 into 1 minus alpha into delta T. What are those terms? T0 is the surface tension of liquid at 0 degree centigrade, and T is the surface tension of liquid at T degree centigrade, and delta T is the change in temperature. Alpha is the temperature coefficient of surface tension.